Hello, associates. We're here to talk about Suits, Season 7, Episode 6. It's right here. It's right next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Right into it. Doing it.
Just direct to the shoulders.
Right.
Every time.
Shoulders. There.
Yeah.
And we're ready to talk about Suits. I'm your host, Steve Kaufman. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufman. That is Kaufman, but I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
I have my bullpen out tonight.
Yeah, you're in good company.
I'm in great company. Starting to my left.
Me. It's Nicole. It's Nicole Brazier. So glad to be back. You can follow me at Nicole Brazier all over social media.
And to her left.
Yeah, this is JB. You guys can find me everywhere at Hey John Blake. Yeah, we missed you last week, Nicole.
I know. I miss you guys too.
There was no
But, you know.
female influences.
Yeah.
And then later there was no one to stop him in
Did
Clue.
someone miss me in the chat?
That's
There
true.
was plenty of people. There were plenty of people
I hope
missing
so.
in the chat. How are we feeling about this episode?
Good.
Because I think we all have lots of feelings.
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, right off the bat, I feel very good about this episode. It was like one of my favorite this season, and because we were talking about last week being sort of a set-up episode
Yeah.
where it just kind of like pushed stuff to the middle.
Like a
everywhere.
break. Like it's not quite like a penultimate episode. 'Cause
Yeah.
there are a lot of shows that have a penultimate episode that like pretty much allow the final episode to be paint by numbers, or as I like to call Revenge of the Sith.
Of course.
Like Revenge of the Sith, where if you make the 3 movies on one side and the 2 movies on the other side, you really don't need to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was a little more intense, a little
Yeah.
more jam-packed. I mean, everybody was talking about their word last episode, but this one, it was a little more eventful. You know, we got the big dramatic ending, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things were concluded in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, there was, like, closure in a lot of
Yeah.
circles. Like, obviously not everything is, like, we're good to go.
Right. Big on Lewis.
But,
big closure for Lewis.
Yeah, there's been, like, in several areas, pretty much I feel like with most of the main characters, like, resolution has at least come, so it's, like, a satisfying
Right.
place to leave off of.
Speaking, and we can jump into the first topic, which is Harvey and Paula. Harvey, who has not told Donna about Harvey and Paula.
Right.
Let's be real. Who among us got swerved by Donna tonight?
Yeah, I completely
I think we all
bought
did.
it. I
think
bought
we
into
all
it
bought in
100%. Yeah.
But I did, but right after, then when I realized her face, I was like,
Yeah, I was
wait
like,
a
oh,
tick.
she
She
totally-
wouldn't. They wouldn't also like keep the camera on her for that
Yeah.
long. Like we should have knew, like within that 5 seconds, like okay, she's totally bullshitting him.
Yeah.
But good one, Donna, because she
Like,
always,
it's real-
she'll always get you.
I mean, not to doubt the almighty Donna, but part of me thinks that most of what we experience to be Donnadom, we'll go with Donnadom,
Yep.
Donna-ness
Isn't
is a certain level of confidence after the fact in situations like we just saw.
I just love that she is so honest, like and true, like because she.
But she's not, though.
No,
She
no,
just
no, but
completely
she,
lied to his
well,
face.
I know, but at the end of the episode, she
Okay,
told
she
him, like,
came
and
around.
because she could never not do that, and I feel like she's one of the most honest, like, of the bunch, like, you know, and all in a day's work too. Like, it doesn't take her a few days or a week to like figure her shit out. She just does, like, 'cause she's Donna.
I'm trying to think of.
Any time that she might have.
Well, I'm trying to think of a set of a comparable character. Like Jessica might have let something like this fester for weeks.
Yeah,
It's partially because every time we saw Jessica, she would be
Right.
dealing with
Right.
her own
I also
stuff.
think it's because deep down she does love Harvey. It's like, why would you lie to a person that you love? You
Right.
know? So.
I mean, I think Rachel's pretty good at, like, coming back after the fact, like, and quickly realizing, like, how she messed up. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think she goes from 0 to 60 more often than Donna does. 100%.
That's why
Like,
they're best friends.
she does it fairly often. She's
Yeah.
a frequenter of that. But, you know, I think she's one that definitely kind of calls herself out and then...
Yeah, that is important from
back.
that Donna can always have a flip in the middle of the episode.
Right.
Just like, wow, I felt this way, and now I don't feel this way, and everything's fine. How hurt do we think Donna is? Or do we think she found closure in this episode and it's all contained?
No.
Well, I mean, the conversation that they had when she came forward and she was like, you know, I actually didn't know, and I'm sorry, and like that was so productive for me. Like it was such a healthy conversation finally because they were able to say it back to each other. Like Harvey was like, when you were dating that the British
Stephen,
guy, whatever his name is, like that, he felt the same way. And it totally made me think about like past relationships I've had. Like there is a thing where you can obviously like want the best for someone, but still be hurt by them being with someone else. Like that's,
Of course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Human nature, especially when it comes to love. But I don't think she has had her closure. No way.
I don't
I
think
think we'll hear about it.
no, and that's the thing. I think it's
An episode's
always going to
coming.
hurt, and because they're
Yeah.
so close to each other, like it's a constant reminder. Like that hurt, like doesn't go away.
I'm not quite sure if she'll get her closure though.
Yeah, me.
Right.
Like realistically, like I'm genuinely thinking like for her to get that closure, she would have to kind of admit to Harvey like, hey, I have feelings for you, and they're so deep seated and locked down inside, and like layers upon layers of both professionalism and feelings and like doubts about you and like all of these things that it's I don't see that conversation being as simple as tonight's was, which is
Right.
By the way, I lied. By the way, I lied. I didn't,
Yeah.
Right.
and I had feelings.
Totally. Well, I
She
don't
didn't
mean
say-
I don't
That
mean
was
like closure
unspokenly-
in like.
Yeah, that was unspokenly said. He was like, I know. Like they didn't have to say that. They both
Yeah.
know they have
Yeah.
feelings for each other. Did he accept her key back, or did she still get?
I think he
keep the key?
did.
I think
We'll
she
have to
left it
go
on the
back.
desk,
Yeah, I
right?
think she put it on
Okay.
his desk.
It wasn't hand to hand, but I think she left it on the desk.
Yeah.
Like, she definitely gave him the key to his apartment back to like
Right,
really let him
right.
know that he.
Like that she doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I definitely. I think that's way too aggressive.
It's always
I
the
think it's like they
keys.
both
It's always the keys.
do care, and they both like told each other that, but there was like a mutual understanding.
that
Is
there's-
more like as far as I'll go.
I think that
It's
they're
like-
both under all the layers I'm talking about. They're both understanding that they exist on top
Yeah.
of just like 10 feet
Right.
of. I don't want to call
Stuff,
it garbage,
yeah.
but definitely stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you both admit that you're standing on 10 feet of stuff,
Right. Then you can at least like.
neither
be on
of
the
you,
same, yeah.
neither of you gets upset with the other when they fall 5 feet
Right.
over like what the other would think is nothing. I'm good at
stuff.
analogies, guys.
Yeah.
I like it. Not
Yeah.
garbage, stuff.
Stuff.
It's much more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Suits word. That is definitely a word
is.
for Suits.
And it's after hours here at AfterBuzz, so we can
Definitely.
curse all we want. No, I'm kidding.
That's probably
Kidding.
That's probably not true.
I'm kidding. No commentary back from production. So.
Speaking of Donna, she was subpoenaed by Stephanie, who was suing Lewis for sexual harassment. This is the second time Lewis has been sued for sexual harassment. Lewis gets Katrina to come and try to talk sense into Stephanie. Brian, who, what's the actor's name?
Oh, okay. For anyone that's a fan of Canadian TV
Melodramas.
teen dramas and Drake Degrassi. That is Jake Epstein from Degrassi, and I'm like didn't even realize until this episode. And I'm like, oh my god, that's Craig. Any girl or guy that watched Degrassi will know what I'm talking about. So good job on the casting. for
Got it.
bringing
Really?
Jake Epstein back into the spotlight.
Nice.
Did you guys like him?
Hashtag
He's
way
so
back
cute,
Wednesday or
right?
Thursday.
I
TBT.
actually really enjoyed the Brian character.
He's a good actor, and you should have seen his actor in Degrassi. Now you guys have to watch one episode of Degrassi. You'll be like, whoa, I get
Okay.
it. I get it.
Is he in the Drake seasons?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
It sounds like, I
Drake
mean,
are boys.
it's too bad he went. He kind of fell off the map there. From,
I know- I
from
don't know
being
where he went,
such a
but-
Canadian
Well-
teen heartthrob
well-
to.
We can't say that. That's like me saying someone from Downton Abbey fell off the map after Downton Abbey. It's like no, they probably had plenty of work.
But
You
he's
just,
a new
fair enough,
character,
fair
and
enough.
it's
just
great.
don't watch
and
British
he's-
TV.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm excited. For
Yeah, no, that's very true. He has an excellent cameo in
You think
this
it's a
episode.
cameo? You don't think?
Well, I haven't seen. I can't.
He's
That's what I'm
You
saying. I
you
can't.
got spit up on a baby one.
That was the best
I mean,
onesie
that's
ever.
yeah.
But that- I mean, that's
NBC
kudos to
Universal
Lewis,
Store.
though.
I know babies.
Yes. So
Make it
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, I think that this character is going to stay. So I look forward to seeing more of Jake Epstein.
No, I think he's definitely
On
recurring.
Suits.
He's a recurring associate. At this point, he's the only
The
associate.
two associates in the limelight are Stephanie and him, and I think
And
they're-
Stephanie doesn't
Well,
even work for the
Stephanie's not
company.
not an
Yeah.
associate. He's the only
Oh, right,
associate.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the two. You guys know what I mean.
Yes.
Right,
They're
and
just
he
in this-
might be more
of
recurring.
the associates.
Yeah. He's the
they're
only
working
one
for
with a
the-
name.
They're the only ones we know.
Yeah.
And I think Stephanie and Lewis have a beautiful partnership ahead. So we'll
Go-
save that for predictions.
Okay.
Yeah. For the record, I don't. But
I
continue.
think this is. I know a lot of time must have passed between episodes, but
Mm-hmm.
does anybody else think it's? And we've talked about it a bit that the the episode where he blew up and like blew up people's phone, like blew up on his associates, lost his associates, blew up Harvey's phone, or blew up his his doctor's phone calling the Dr. Harvey?
doctor.
Right,
yeah,
right,
like,
right. Yeah.
He blew up Dr. Lipschitz' phone. Like we're only 2 weeks removed from all of that in the show. Like I understand that he's clearly sought clarity from that, but I don't know, it feels a little sudden. Does anybody else, does this ring true to anybody else, or is it just me?
What, the clarity of Lewis?
That like Lewis is like, no, Lewis is back to stability now.
I think it just
He's not
took
gonna blow up.
It took three. No, he'll always be Lewis. But I think there were a couple of people that said, "I'm proud of you." Like one being his doctor, the other Donna. But I mean, like these are big steps for him in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
for
totally.
Lewis. And
I'm buying the maturity.
Yeah, but I think the whole point, and we've been seeing him like round the clock with his therapist, was for him to take the steps and measures to get over Stephanie, and he wasn't, and we witnessed him now, and yeah, I think it didn't happen overnight.
Well, yeah.
What's interesting
protect
that
it.
like maybe the straw that broke the camel's back was Brian. Actually,
Yeah,
like saying
Brian.
those things, like, "Hey, you know, if I had felt that way," like,
Also, maybe the
hint,
sexual
hint.
harassment charge.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that kind of.
But it's both,
That
and then-
put it into play. But I
Yes.
think like what was the last thing that maybe made him or helped him realize that he needed to deal with this Tara thing and kind of admit that to himself, admit that publicly, like tell someone, sort of realize that's why he was acting the way he was, because it was.
I
Like,
also love Brian's character because it takes the true selflessness of a father, especially a brand new father, to bite his tongue as much as he had with Lois,
Yeah.
to really manage it as much as he could, and like really pick his spot to say, "Yeah, I got subpoenaed." Speaking as someone who has been verbally assaulted by you, an apology would probably a sincere
Yeah.
apology
Just
would
a
probably
simple,
suffice.
I'm sorry, and meaning it.
Well,
Might fix this issue.
I think with Stephanie, the explanation was necessary.
I don't know if I just also said Stephanie and I meant Tara, so
I
that
got
was
you.
like, you got me, right?
I
Okay.
threw it out real quick. I got you.
Well, I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, no, I don't think a simple apology would have done it with Stephanie, but I think like him kind of explaining,
a legitimate
connecting the
heart-to-heart.
dots. Yeah, like, that really. Because I mean, at the same time, like she kind of said why she was suing him, which wasn't like this whole facade of her like not being able to hack it. Like that was completely made up. She just felt bad, and she was, you know.
I think it's
pissed off.
both.
I
think
mean-
I think it's both. She doesn't like her reputation is in jeopardy, and to what she said as well was, you genuinely offended me.
Yeah.
And I've always said when people say things that might offend me, the worst comeback the best comeback you possibly have is, I would have to respect you for you to offend me.
Yeah.
Like what you said would have to have like a morsel of truth.
Yeah.
For you to actually offend me. So Stephanie gave that today, that it's like, no, what you said really hit home with me. A, because I respect you, and B, because I work 90 hours a week and I'm genuinely feeling like maybe I won't ever find someone.
Yeah.
I can't date. I'm at this desk. I'm at this desk all the time. And
Yeah, I mean, I think that's or like 99% of it. Like,
How can you not predict over that the two of them wouldn't maybe date?
That
I mean,
seems
they literally put it out
good,
there
no
like,
good.
I have no one me either. We work a lot.
Their kids would
what would
overreact
be-
all the time.
that's a
It'd be the
bad
worst.
reason. There's a 3-day ship rule.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
A prediction's a prediction, but there's a 3-day ship rule. On all AfterBuzz TV shows, or just the ones I'm on? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Any show I'm on, there's a 3
Yeah.
episode ship rule.
And then I could predict that.
Absolutely. Well, no, you can predict it. You just can't like.
I just get excited about relationships. and
Actually,
this.
I'm pretty sure Harvey and Paula were the reasons I made the 3-day ship rule.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody was so quick to ship them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's wrong.
You know what?
I got a
right?
cake out of it.
And I'm sticking to my guns. There's more.
We'll
to
see.
it. Maybe
We'll
just
see.
like a little
More to
hookup.
Stephanie.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. This was probably one of my favorite.
Episodes
Or
or
this was my favorite topic in the episode. Like my favorite thread in
Okay.
the episode.
for sure.
We can go briefly with Rachel and Mike. Actually, before we do, I have a bit of news. I'm sure we read it this morning.
AfterBuzz TV News.
There's a spin-off.
Jimbo and I are on point today. it was announced by USA Today that they are working on a Jessica Pearson spinoff.
Yes.
In
it.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I also said that she would come back, and everyone argued with me that she was donezo, and I'm like, no way.
Well,
I mean, it was contingent on a
Okay.
TV show.
yeah.
Same.
And we were also talking about like that being, you know,
place
again,
for Rachel to go.
in theory, yeah, a vehicle for Rachel, like because that is its sort of own world.
And that's another. That's
which
more
is super
gossip.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
more gossip, but like, there's a lot of gossip that they need to get Rachel off that show for
Right.
some time, either for a royal wedding or just to like literally let the paparazzi die down around. Like,
Yeah, to be a princess, whatever.
we're good for her,
Yeah.
but like,
I'm just looking at the article, and
yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, she's a cool character. To have like some crossover action would be
Like-
awesome as well.
I'm saying, as someone who loves comic book TV shows and loves Suits, I would love for there to be a Suits extended universe.
Oh man,
That would
that's
just
the
be
best.
incredible.
That's the best.
That'd
Yeah.
be, like, everything about it.
it's also like nice for fans because it gives us something to look forward to instead of just like the same. You know what I mean? For Suits to get that much bigger, it's a great show. It should. It deserves something else more than just
And a show
Yeah.
about and a show
7
about
seasons of the same shit. No offense.
Of course, but,
I just
like,
mean
Great,
but
it's great shit.
There's
but
just
yeah.
we it's always different, but there is a similar style of writing in this series.
also
You know
a
what I
show
mean?
about Jessica in Chicago would be vastly different.
And it you know, it drags a different audience. It'll bring more girls to watch the show. Everybody's with all these female powerhouses and shows like that. More of those shows are on television. So, I mean, you have the
Yeah.
female voice here. I'm just gonna say it.
Lady lawyer.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
kidding,
It's
that's-
exciting, and but men and women enjoy Jessica's powerful character. I mean, she was half the show before she left, and I just think that it's great.
I think it's great. I'm excited to hear about it. Excited to see if it moves forward. I don't think the article stated when they think it'll get released. You would assume next summer or later.
2018.
Okay.
So
Summer. It might be summer 2018.
Nice. That'd be cool.
Alongside Suits, or it would offset Suits, either or. We're excited. Stick with us here at AfterBuzz
Yeah.
TV for all the news. Now we're on to Mike and Rachel.
woo!
Yeah.
Rachel gave Mike an ultimatum.
Finally, I mean,
Mike
she's
is-
really this whole season. She's been dropping bombs. I mean,
know.
like a good wife does, though. I feel like
Most seasons, Rachel's been
Right.
dropping
She
these
She ain't
kind
no
of
wife
bombs.
yet.
true. Well, she's a great fiance. Then.
Just saying.
Playing the role like
All the
a
single
pro.
ladies. All the single ladies.
Because like he just doesn't get it, and like he needed to do certain things, and like even though he for his own mind like went off the case and was like he told Oliver off, which was great, by the way. It was like one of my favorite moments, like finally. And look how well it works. Like Oliver crushed it in the case and was probably gonna win. I can't help but think if Mike wasn't just like watching in the audience, then he, you know, then Oliver might have been able to like talk Alex off the thing.
Man, Alex came in guns
Okay.
blazing.
We'll circle back to Rachel because it's all a part of the bigger
Sorry,
point.
yeah.
No, but Alex, just a funny moment, and there are some funny, like, sketchable moments
Mm-hmm.
in this show. And the one I'm thinking is just Alex back to the door, but listening to the court case happening. Dismiss it. Oh man, dismiss
Yeah,
it.
just-
I'll just
Re-
dismiss
ready
it.
now? Yeah.
I don't wanna come. They're not gonna. Okay, I gotta get in there. Like he bursted open the door, and like that timing was perfect.
Yeah.
But like, was he literally waiting on the other side of the
He
door?
must have been. I mean, he knew
to
exactly
hear a
what
judge.
sentence
Can you
to.
like even do that? Like,
Alex can do that.
yeah, okay. Well, I think from the get-go we were saying that there's been beef between Mike and Alex, and it just sucks that now more than ever we're gonna have to see it unfold, and it's upsetting to me because Harvey brings this guy into this firm, and I know Mike was being Mike throughout the last couple episodes and being shady and going off on his words, so something was gonna bite him in the ass. We kept saying that. I don't think any of us predicted that this was gonna be it.
I think the Reform Corp case, I guess we didn't think like it was so microscopic up until this week where they actually blew it out of what it was. He talked to an attorney, like a district attorney, and she said, "No, I flew it up the flagpole to prosecute, and it came back down."
Yeah, like a
Like,
concrete block. That's very specific.
How big does something have to be that a district attorney can say, "No, I have a signed confession. I have
Yeah.
everything I need. We should go after bad guys. That's literally our job.
Yeah.
And for it to get thrown out. And I think that's what we're learning with the Alex stuff. And then I think the preview kind of shows it, and the teaser definitely shows it, that I think Masterson Construction, not Capital. I believe it's Masterson Construction, which is Alex's client that he brought over, is into some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like either they're into the stuff that they're already into, but they're also into lobbying really hard, or they're into some really bad stuff, like worse than we've even uncovered.
Yeah, I'd be excited for that. I mean, I love when corruption kind of like goes up really high. I mean, obviously, I don't love like it in
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 real life.
IRL, but it's fascinating to watch like when like these crazy powers that be that like move nations are involved, and it's just like I love when it kind of trickles up into these like high powers on TV.
Well, we were
Very
also
entertaining.
saying that Alex could be like a liability on the firm, and you know, I'm always like team Harvey and Mike, and like to hear Mike in that preview saying that he would leave and get fired, it would be worth it for this case. I'm like, is it though? Ugh.
Well-
you know, like because even at the end of it, I was like, yeah, just cut it out. Like I'm over it.
Well, let's get back to the greater point then. And Rachel laid the ultimatum down,
Right.
which is you cannot. And I do appreciate the way Rachel laid down this ultimatum. It was not. It was not like, okay, you need to drop Oliver in the clinic and this case and go be a big boy go be a big boy with a big boy salary at this firm because I'm your wife and we need money.
Right.
She didn't say that. She said, you can't have both feet in different boats.
Yeah.
You're either a corporate lawyer
Yeah.
or you work at a clinic.
I think that he handled it. It's clearly too much, and he has no time for her, and he's lying on both ends and getting himself in trouble like he used to, and he just needs to. Yeah, I think he needs to.
Yeah, he needs to not do that anymore. And like the
just
when
so
I
much
know,
fun.
yeah, I feel like he was going to be okay, and then the Reyes like came to him and like really like
Yeah, 'cause he
flipped him
hates
again.
So-
and it's like, dude, if you care that much about your family, like just basically go to Harvey and be like, dude, let me just give this guy some money and like make sure that he's cool.
That's not him.
Let's
he
bring
would
it back-
He would do
Right,
both.
I mean,
He
that's
would
not
do
Mike,
both. He
but
would,
it's
he
just
would
like-
get money for him and still try to fight to win
Yeah.
the case because that's Mike.
Yeah, just work somewhere else, Mike.
Well, let's bring it back to Mike's ultimate altruism though. Do we think he's ultimately correct for fighting because especially this episode, because we're way past Reyes turning down the settlement,
Yeah.
so that it's you move forward with a class action where everyone gets made whole, and you uncover widespread corruption among publicly funded but ultimately privately run prisons. Or
I just think it's a huge. Sorry to interrupt you. It is a huge case for his character, like for everything that he's been through. Like, I understand wanting to figure this out, but I feel like we've been with him a lot through things, and he makes these promises. Like when Reyes walked out the door, he's like, "I promise, I'm gonna." You always promise things, and how like isn't that the number one rule? That, like they've said it in the show that lawyers should not do that.
Yeah.
And he always and maybe he's not really a lawyer, but like still, I mean, he just.
Yeah, he definitely overpromises.
Yeah.
My advice would be
He's-
underpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
well, but that's easy to do in our world.
Right.
That's way more difficult to do in his world, especially when you're such an altruist. Like, I genuinely am on Team Mike in the sense that he had a deal with Harvey. Harvey had to back out of the deal. He should have. I don't like that got muddled. That they could either move forward or they couldn't. But he decided the way he was going to do it is, oh no, it's a class action. I'm involved now, and I'll deal with Harvey how I deal with Harvey.
Yeah.
And it's a bad situation all around, but when it's a bad situation all around, the good should shine through, and the good is he's trying to uncover all of this.
Right.
And it looks like he's going to have Harvey on his side next week anyway, because it looks like Masterson Construction isn't the kind of client that Pearson Spector would want.
Yeah.
Because they're doing like such bad stuff.
But this isn't, and that's not even the reason why he brought Alex over. It just happened to be that this was his client.
yeah, it just
and
happened to be a
found-
conflict.
Yeah. And then I was glad that Harvey did say something to Alex, like, and even though he had his back initially, to say that Mike was right about having the talk and stuff, but these two cannot talk clearly because they're not civil yet, and it's not good. right?
Who? Alex and Mike?
Yes.
You mean? Yeah. No, that really that scene reminded me so much of in the old days when like Harvey and Lewis would be going at it.
Yeah.
Like Jessica would kind of mitigate and kind of calm them down and send them both, their separate ways and saying it's over. So
that's a good
it's
comparison.
great to see that
Can I-
situation like alive and well,
Yeah, can
and all these new characters in those roles.
Can I just point out I was correct in my suspicion of Alex?
Yes.
Is this the pat yourself on the back portion of the podcast?
Yes, go
Where I
ahead.
just point out that I
Totally. Well, yeah, I think Lena in like one of the earlier shows
Yeah.
that we did, definitely, she was like all about like Alex was the devil. And
Yeah,
I don't
well-
think it's that aggressive, but
But
he
he-
definitely has some skin in the game that like he's really
I can't wait
hiding
to
and
find
stuff.
out what it is. Because I have
Yeah, he's got some skeletons.
he's definitely
hiding.
got. Well, are they his or are they his clients? Is
Well, I
the
think-
question.
I mean,
No, no,
it-
there's something personal. That's what
There
they said.
definitely
There's
is because
something
that's
personal
how
with him.
how Harvey kind of
Absolutely.
uncovered. He was like,
Yeah.
dude, if
We-
it was
we
just your
knew that.
client, like you would have done this quietly, like which
Right.
makes me think that you're publicly making it a show because you're trying to get out of something.
And we
or
said
get
that
something.
the last case that he quote unquote signed off and resolved that wasn't really resolved and it was going to reopen. And I think that's what will unfold next week.
That's what it sounds like. Well,
I forgot what that guy's name was.
yes, that gentleman from 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything else on this big case before we dive into predictions? I think we're dipping our toes into predictions a little much.
Uh,
Are we ready?
yeah, no, I mean the Gallo stuff. That's
Like the Gallo stuff is,
always-
and the
yeah,
Gallo
it's
stuff's
pretty
gonna
standard.
be, and that's prediction stuff too.
Yeah.
So I think we're definitely
Yeah,
ready
let's
to
do it.
move into
Let's dive in.
predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right, Frank Gallo. 4 weeks from now, does he get out?
No.
By the end of the season, no, I don't think so.
Definitely not by the end of the summer. For Mike's safety, I would like him to not get out ever.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know. This character is very, very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, definitely didn't see him resurfacing at all, but I mean, it does make sense. And if this case continues, he'll be involved. I mean, I just hope we see like a softer side, and maybe we can become more understanding of Gallo. But I mean, he was the bad guy. He's scary. I mean, the bringing up of the daughter and him having like personal issues and needing money in that might be a big part in why he could very well get out. But other than that, I would rather him stay in just for Mike's safety. But
Right, and
there
also
are
like
other issues.
there was so much bad stuff that he did. I mean, I'm all for second chances, but like some people
No,
just have gone too deep for
Yeah.
a show, and I
mean,
feel like
Mike's altruism
done.
balance sheet was pretty clean up until Frank Gallo.
yeah,
Like Frank Gallo really weighs at one side.
But that was Mike's choice to go see him and bring him back into his world. So that if anything, it's on Mike.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and,
like-
it's almost like Mike wants him to be set free. Just, I mean, like, is he gonna pay him? That's where I'm concerned. Like, is that what we pushed or Harvey pushed? Was like just pay him.
That's what Harvey was trying to tell him to
Yeah.
do. It sounds like all of it got dismissed, so everything's done. So now he might try and seek retaliation against Mike because it got.
But he said it's not really necessarily dismissed. It just needs to be put into someone else's hands.
No, but it was dismissed. It needs to be put in someone else's hands. I don't. He's probably gonna have to hit the pavement next week to like get it in someone else's hands. It's probably gonna be Zane, and Zane's probably
Ooh,
not gonna want
wow.
to touch it.
Ooh.
right, interesting. Or maybe he will, or maybe he's in on it.
Well, and
crazy.
that's the other bigger part. Do we think the Alex blackmail that was alluded to a couple weeks ago? Do we think that's all part of Masterson Construction and Reform Corp? Because that's where I'm leaning.
I have no idea with Alex. I don't know if it has to do with his client or if there's something outside it that we don't know and we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's personal with Alex because, I mean, at least with the preview of next week's episode, that it leads me to believe that because Harvey and Alex go way back. They're good buddies. So if Harvey knew that it was like a personal thing that Alex was involved in, I think that would make him try to help him more than if it was just like a client thing. If it was just the client being dirty, like I think he would just be like, Alex, you gotta drop him. Like that's what's happening.
This isn't perfect. This isn't a perfect.
Right.
But Alex and his cohort, who both had the same amount of dirt. I think Masterson Construction had the dirt, gave it to that superior, and is blackmailing Alex. I think that's the most succinct way.
Not far off.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's because it has to be client related, but it also has to be personal enough that he won't mess with it again.
Right.
And it have to be something two people did.
And it's also like
And it
for
could be-
Alex to have offered that as the deal, like to his old boss, basically. You know, I think he had a lot to do with it, if not like
Yeah,
most, because
I'm going to go out on a wild limb and say hookers in a hotel room.
Yeah?
very specific.
Videotaped hookers in a hotel room. Maybe a Russian one. I'm kidding.
Wow. I mean, of course, one's going to be Russian.
And that
Just Alex is
and then
a
Masterson,
neo-Nazi.
Masterson
Super
Construction
twist.
Oh, God. We don't bring politics into AfterBuzz TV.
but Masterson Construction has a copy of the tape, but so does that guy. But then the question becomes, how is that guy exonerated? That's the part I haven't
That's
sussed
a
out yet.
wild, wild prediction there, Steve.
That's what I'm known for.
Okay.
Every now and again, I hit a bullseye with them.
Yeah, really.
Usually, they're just crazy ramblings,
Yeah, I can attest to that.
week to week.
Mine definitely was. So,
So,
there's that.
Mike and Rachel, ever getting a date?
Definitely not. That's
Jeez,
not
they're
lasting.
just
I was watching.
stringing that relationship along.
I was watching the last episode with a friend of mine. They were saying because this show is written. Oh my God, I'm actually forgetting. It's like there's foreshadowing in the writing sometimes.
Okay.
And in like the last episode, he said something about like keeping promises or like one day it'll happen or something, and like pretty much that says it's not gonna happen. And so. I honestly can see this relationship not happening. I really can.
Really, you can see the a wedding.
No
like,
wedding.
not-
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they
what?
keep prolonging. There's stuff keep getting in the way. He keeps lying to her, in a sense, for her. I mean, I know they're in love and like it's been like forever, and it's like, why would they stop now? But I mean, the show throws us for a loop sometimes, even though we do get, like I said earlier, some repetitive stuff. But I mean, I'm just not buying it anymore.
I think they get married, but she still goes off to Chicago. Or, I guess somewhere else, because if Chicago's an actual show and the whole point's for her to not be on a show,
That's true. I didn't even think
she
of
go
that.
to Los Angeles.
I didn't even think of that though.
Or just go to St.
With this new spin-off with news of that now my mind has changed because but then they wouldn't live together. What the hell is the point of getting married if you're living different lives?
Mike just needs to
Maybe she
start
goes to
his own
Chicago
clinic.
and starts her own life like without him. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think they'll get married, but maybe she will just get like
Yeah, you guys were like planning the wedding the other night.
We
when
were.
on
bachelor
the show.
party.
We
Yeah,
were
Okay,
so-
ready.
Let's be real.
And the
I
groom's
believe
cake.
in their love. Like, I'm not doubting that, like, there's no potential for them. They're just playing it right now that it's like this to me. It's not.
Are we... Maybe we're worried for nothing that this is Endgame like Donna and Harvey. That
Get
this
married
is...
instead.
Well, but this... No, but I'm saying like
I
this
just
is...
Not
want
about
that.
that.
I want
But this
that.
is
I don't
fly
understand
off.
why you're not about that.
It's Endgame. I think
There's a lot
Mike and
to
Rachel are
this.
Endgame and Donna...
It's a different.
Donna and
podcast.
Harvey are Endgame, so it's worth mentioning, it's worth arguing that can't possibly happen until the show's over, and the show's not over. There's an argument to be made for that. However, pick a date or don't pick a date. I'm planning groomsmen cakes for... I don't know if I have them or not. I'm picking dates.
We're
It's
gonna
getting
get-
weird.
It's just dragging out, and I'm getting annoyed.
Does Lewis see Tara again?
Never.
Yeah, no, I don't
He's
think
getting
she's
with
coming back.
Stephanie.
Actually,
Okay, so yeah,
while we're
now
on
we
Lewis,
have to
go on.
talk about that.
Well, I don't understand. I've already mentioned it like 7 times on this
But
show
make it
tonight,
clear.
but like it's
I'm just
very-
yeah.
they both admitted things that were hard for them to open up about. They said that they're single and lonely and divorced or this, that, whatever they
They
are.
both want kids.
And they
yeah,
want kids.
yeah,
They're getting
yeah.
older. They work their butts off. How perfect. You don't work
Really,
at the
that's
same
not
firm
perfect.
anymore.
Those
That's-
kids would be neglected.
Those kids would be fine.
And be the
they'd be
worst.
geniuses.
They would be
And
the-
they-
Those kids would
What
do the
are you-
work.
Okay, they would be very smart, but they would be like the most negative people in the world. Like,
Also-
they would
also-
be
also Lewis.
so-
Two
Lewis,
negatives could make a positive.
No, I feel like that's no.
That's
that
literally
they would
not how
they
things
would
work.
implode. Like
I just why not? Let me have my fun. I predict that that's maybe one date, and then they'll realize that they're both crazy and they gave it their shot.
The show doesn't like to. The show doesn't like to linger on stuff, or like the show doesn't like to just leave
I don't
stuff
think
out there
I'm
to
the
not deal
only
with it.
viewer in the world that didn't think after that exchange.
I saw
no,
part
I
of
mean
it.
there was
That
a
could
moment.
be.
There was a moment.
I saw
could
that more
be-
of them relating to each other
Okay.
than them like relating
Yeah.
to each other.
Right. Well,
I-
one could dream.
I
Yeah.
also I saw that as like a breadcrumb, if you will, that they can always 2 years from now they could go back to that one scene and just show it in the previously.
Right. Yeah.
And then and then all of a sudden he shows up with flowers on Valentine's Day and he needs a date to Mike and Rachel's
Right.
wedding, which is going to have a groomsman cake, and he was already at a bachelor party
Right,
in
right,
Atlantic
right,
City,
right.
and all the stuff JV and I planned extensively last week.
100%.
And that he's trying to be romantic with her, or like giving it a try with her.
Okay.
That's that felt more like a breadcrumb scene
Fine.
than a like, oh, next week they're together.
You're still slightly agreeing with me, so you're saying there's a chance.
I'll give you that.
What was all that 1 in a million talk?
JV, do you have any predictions at large?
I think long-term plan, like I think Mike is eventually going to just like Endgame gonna leave the firm and like start his own clinic and just do
I
pro
think that
bono
has to
stuff.
happen.
Yeah, that's
Because
smart.
like this is just getting annoying at this point.
Yeah.
It's
it-
getting
And like
frustrating.
yeah, I am pro helping people. I like what Mike's doing, but it's becoming frustrating that his relationship with everybody he knows is just
Right.
thrown like to the
Well,
wind
yeah.
because of it.
I also think they need the show needs Mike to deal with secrets and altruism. So like this is a perfect
thing. Yeah.
this is a perfect 10-episode arc for him to deal with it while everyone knows he's already
Right.
a former fraud lawyer.
Yeah.
That
and that we just got out from that like super because
we got out of the whole prison thing.
Yeah.
Like we're definitely back
Totally.
to as normal as the show can get without Jessica and without Mike being a
Mm-hmm.
fake lawyer. Like we're definitely still going through the beats, and they still read true because the
Yeah.
stakes are still high, but they're different. But at a certain point, you're gonna lose my suspension of disbelief, where it's like, but Mike has money though.
Yeah.
Like Mike signed like a big enough signing bonus, although he gave most of it to the clinic. But like Mike could figure out money to not work at Pearson Specter Lit and work exclusively at the clinic.
Right.
Or he's going to wait for this case to blow over and then try and step down, and then Harvey's going to beg him not to. And then Harvey's going to put it in his contract
Right, but I
that
mean,
he works primarily out of the clinic.
a big signing bonus
That would
of
be
like
good.
$500,000 is not gonna get you a
I
clinic
also
in
think
New York. You know
I
what
also
mean?
think
Like,
the staple of like Pearson Specter Lit, if anything, harms Mike. It doesn't do him any good, especially out of jail now. I think your prediction, having him go off and do his own thing, have his own clinic to do what he loves to do, which is help people, is not far off.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Or was that sort of a compliment, or?
No, that was like.
Baby,
Take it, I take it.
I will. I will take it as one.
Take it, I take it. She gave it.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to think if I have any other predictions. I think I've spouted at the mouth quite a bit today with crazy theories.
Yeah.
We went on
Frank
a couple
Gallo is
tangents.
Frank Gallo is an alien, and he's the Illuminati, and he built the pyramids, and Lewis knows.
It's not the la-
He's
it's
the
not-
one blackmailing us.
It's not
Full
the
circle.
last of
Yeah.
Frank Gallo, though.
Definitely not the
Yeah,
last of Frank
we'll
Gallo. I
see.
think
We'll see
he's-
him again. But yeah, I, he's not my favorite like side character. There's some other ones that I would like to resurface.
But I think hopefully they're
Ooh,
not.
what if Darby is involved in this bigger thing?
that? But hopefully, like, they don't go to the Frank Gallo well too much more often. I think after this 10-episode arc, we really need to lay off it for like a good season or two.
Right. I'm just kind of also need to say that I'm still bored with Paula. Boring.
Well, I think it's
Last week's episode was the only cool, like, oh, wow, there's something wrong with you. You're perfect.
I don't know. I mean, I am gonna have to disagree with you there. I kind of liked them this episode.
no,
Gag me.
Kind of,
They are
kind of liked in this
boring.
they're
episode.
just trying to.
Also, because there was a moment like where when Harvey came over and he was like, "I told Donna, blah blah, she took it very well," and then Paul was like, "What? She did?" and she had like this moment of
I didn't
like-
want her to take it well because I'm a girl and like
Yeah.
we like a little bit of.
well, sort of, and it was that
Or she doesn't believe it.
mixed with like her own psychological assessment of like Harvey's relationship with Donna, and just like knowing how deep
Right.
that goes,
Yeah.
and we're
And
just
that's
like,
a problem to me.
Well,
Okay.
also,
like that's crazy.
How is Paula gonna react when she finds out that Donna
Right, and
that Donna didn't already know? And how worse is it going to be when Harvey doesn't tell her?
I
for
know that's what I
months?
mean. It's the seed of
Oh,
another
yes.
of the
Do
Do we,
conflict.
do we think that's the
Love it.
seed?
Well, I think it's a
Yes.
seed. I don't think that's gonna be the reason.
I
they
think this is
break
gonna
up,
go
but,
down.
Like,
Like, we all know this is
win
going down in
things
flames.
and
yeah.
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 It's going to
Absolutely.
be a
Yeah.
glorious explosion. This
Can't
relationship.
wait. Good because I
Yeah.
want him to
they're
grab
to-
Donna and say, "I love you."
Boo! I'm not
That's-
about that life.
Is this fanfic? Is this,
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
said that.
is that your fanfic? Is that
Yes, and it's my fantasy. I dream about it every night.
your slash fic? Your
Whatever that is.
that's
I really
That's a
do
different
not
thing.
want Harvey and Donna to end up together. This is a longer
You
like
guys let
over
us
drinks
know.
conversation we're all gonna have to have
so.
sometime.
If
But-
people wanted to talk to you about that, where can they find you?
yeah, if you guys want to discuss Darby never happening, please tweet at me at Hey John Blake.
And if people want to talk to you, Nicole, about your thoughts on the Stephanie situation, where can they find you on Twitter?
Or love.
I just love it large, really.
At Nicole Brazier, all over social media. Awesome to be here again.
And if you want to talk to me about Frank Gallo being the secret Illuminati, you can find me on Twitter. That's at Steve Kaufman. It's KAUFMANN. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. I tweet about them regularly. I'm also doing a vlog called The Sober Year. You can go to thesoberyear.com. It'll take you to the playlist where I talk every week about being sober. And I'm on week 9, I think I just
Nice,
did.
dude. Awesome. Trucking
So,
along.
thank you all for joining us
happy.
tonight. And I leveled up.
Yeah.
And good night.
The views expressed herein are those of the host.
From
only.
executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.